people, we are back. It is a Friday, and we're going to be going over some questions today. I think it's got some nice weather today, right?
Yeah, it's nice and sunny.
Nice and sunny out there. Not too crazy hot today. It's been a little bit hot, kind of back and forth. California's on fire a little bit, but
I didn't even know it was on fire.
You know what's up, man? Every summertime, California's on fire.
We're
burning. Yeah. So, what kind of questions are we going to be going over today?
So we got the first question of the day. What is the most difficult part of a bathroom remodel?
All right. So to me is the just getting all the things ready. So a lot of times it's you know what the cost is going to be and what the kind of the job's going to be involved in, and then how long it's going to take. But it's like, okay, so picking out the vanity, picking out the countertops, picking out the the sinks, the faucets. Are we going to have a mirror here? That, so it's kind of like the design wise. The other second one I would say is if you only have one bathroom. Where are you gonna use the other
bathroom when it's being remodeled?
Yeah. So sometimes we put a water hose out back.
Oh.
Yeah. Now
a bucket.
Yeah, a little bucket
from camping.
Like in Cuba, you get a little bucket. You put it up on top of you right here. You get a little bit of soap or whatever. But yeah. So those to me would be like the two hardest parts is and then you can't use that restroom. While you're doing it, and just making sure that you pick all the stuff, and making sure they match. Yeah.
So, do a lot of customers change their minds in the middle of the process?
Yes. Or what'll happen is we go to order something, and even now, and it's not there. So you're like, oh, this has got a back order of 4 weeks or something like that. So either you got to switch up, and then get something else so we don't have to wait 4 weeks, or just kind of wait. But if a lot of times you don't want to wait for a bathroom or that. So I would really recommend having everything kind of pre-done before you even start knocking anything off, knowing that you have it almost all bought, knowing that you have it there.
So get the sink, get the vanity, get the tub,
the
shower door, put it in the garage, and then do the demo.
Yeah, because it's even stuff where we've gone to, let's say, Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's normal things that you'd go online that you can just pick up, just normal that you'd see there all the time, that maybe are some faucets or something like that, and they're like, oh, we don't have faucets. I forgot what it was, but I think it was a faucet. But for our kitchen, we had to go to 4 different Lowe's to find it.
Wow.
And then eventually we found it. We put it on the customer's house, and it ended up being defaulty. I ended up getting a call on a Sunday on a long weekend that it just
it exploded.
Oh, it exploded on some brand new cabinets. Customer wasn't happy, so we got to send the emergency crew over there. Superman had to fly in and putting it all up, but couldn't have water there for a while. But man. So having that beforehand. And then just making sure that you have another bathroom where you're going to go to the gym or whatever it is to
take a shower,
to do what you have to do. Mother-in-law's house, or mom or grandma's, or whatever it is.
Okay. Next question: Does the contractor provide the materials for the bathroom remodel?
State of California typically require. They require that you do an estimate with labor and material on there. Now you could do what we do is do an allotment sheet where we're like, okay, the job is $10,000 or so, and then we'll say, okay, you have up to this much for the vanity, up to this much for the other people have A, B, and C pricing, where you're just like, okay, these are the things for this price that you can get within this amount range, and this. So just depending. So it depends on the contractor, but it's better that you would do it with that, because a lot of times you're like, okay, the price of the labor, then you start to go out and look to see how much the actual vanities are. When you see, you're like, wow, I didn't know a vanity was $1,500.
Oh yeah, you get the nice ones are really really expensive.
Right. So depending on the size, and then I didn't know this was this much. So I always like to wrap it up, particularly the way that I do it is, we get a specific price, and then you'll have an allotment, and then let's say $3 a square foot for tile. So then now they know that if they go out and they look at it, they got to stay within $3 a square foot for tile and for vanities and all that. So having an allotment sheet is good. So putting them together is better, so that way there's no surprises.
No surprises. What about you get the client that like wants to buy their own things and like it breaks?
Well, so we have a client now that's like, hey, I've got everything bought. I just want to provide, do the labor on there. Contractors not supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to be material and labor. Many people do that. What happens though, and it happened to me, is that you could be like, okay, I'm charging you $150 to put in a faucet. And then you go get one of these like high-end faucets that you've got to have special tools with, and even if you break that faucet, now you gotta so the price isn't always the same to install the same stuff. They're like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and get the tub. They go get a jacuzzi tub, right? So now you're like, oh man, that's a whole different process, and now you're kind of worried. Oh, well, I thought you gave me a price for putting in all the stuff. So it's a little bit. A little bit shaky. You'd rather have them with both being there, or at least be able to see all the products that are there, so you don't have any like weird stuff going on where they're just kind of throwing in something that's super expensive. Typically, it's something that's really super expensive. Yeah,
and they want cheap labor.
Yeah, and they want the cheaper labor to do that. So that's what I found is that especially that they're maybe not even looking for a contractor. They're kind of looking for the labor guy or the handy guy or something. So even when I hear that, the red flags kind of go up. Like, this is probably a person that wants to try to run the job themselves or so. So I typically try to stay away from that.
Okay. Next one is how do we know which shower door fits best for my bathroom remodel?
It depends. With shower doors, they do have some standard size, but there's other custom ones, and they range. Let's say you can get some pretty nice ones. Let's say in between 200 and 300, 350 or so. At the big box stores, let's say. But once it changes and it's just an inch off or an inch different, or you want it frameless and it's got to be made, it doubles the price for sure. So it could cost you like say $400 to put them in and then get them installed, and then you get a custom one. They go up to $1,500 depending if they're seamless, if they want to have like clear glass, or they want to have frosted glass. Yeah, so it could depend, but with those shower doors, they can't have any gaps. They've got to be like perfectly sealed up because you don't want any water. Yes, you don't want.
The best thing is just like measure it and then custom order.
It depends. So let's say if you have like a 5-foot tub and then the tile comes in perfectly and stuff like that, then it totally depends. But it's just gonna go also with what your client sees and what they like. Sometimes they see something in let's say online, and they're like, oh, I like that, and I'm like, hey, well, that's it doesn't have any frames. It's a frameless. I think I said seamless before, but it's a frameless, and so frameless is not something that you can just go pick up somewhere. That's something you either got to order through the store, and then you can install it. On the most part, people who build those frameless, the glass companies, they just build them and install them, because you have to be very precise, and especially with showers. So the showers tend that if you don't put in the doors or those types of incorrectly, and you don't silicone them, they tend to leak. They don't tend to close correctly. You want to make sure that you have a sweep underneath it, so when the water doesn't come out. So there's bigger problems with showers with the shower door. Yeah, with shower doors or sliding doors, because the showers, they sit low. And so they sometimes have a tendency, because they'll sit on a little curb, like a little curb that you add. So sit on a curb, and you have the pan; those sit right on top of there. And sometimes the water will sit on there, so it has to have a little bit. So
a little slope.
Yeah, a little slope. It's got to be.
What about when it opens up and like it hits the wall and it shatters?
Yeah. So we've had that happen. So you want to be able to have it to where it doesn't do that. Most of the time, when some of that happens, it doesn't. It's not that so much it hits the wall. Is the way that they designed it. They don't design it to be able to like swing. Maybe it has a stop, and they keep pushing it, and then it kind of snap off the hinges, stuff like that. Yeah. So I haven't had a lot of them that. Oh, in fact, I don't think I remember one breaking because of like it hitting something. Usually, if it's going to hit something, it has a handle that kind of stops it in that area. Anyway, most of the time it's the hinges where they like
break the hinges.
Yes, pushed it too far. Boom, hinges came out. Or when you have the swinging area that goes, you want that swinging area most likely up against the wall so they can screw it in. Yeah. Some other people will have, let's say, a clear glass here, and then they put the swinging door and they try to use it right off of there, and eventually that area is not fastened correctly onto the wall, and that door is not going to be opening the same, or it sags. Yeah. That's one of it. You have to be very precise. Yeah.
So if it's not screwed on right, it starts to like lean over.
It starts to lean over, and all you just need is just eighth of an inch or something like that off, and now it's not closing. The water's coming in, because the stripping doesn't seal it off correctly. So it's very, very important, especially with those custom doors, to get somebody that knows what they're doing out there. If not, that's most of the time where I get the complaints for leaking. Yeah, bathrooms in itself is like you got a lot of trades. You got electrical, you got hot mop, you got tile. So painting, you got backer board. So it's a lot of trades in a little area. Yeah, a little area, and you can't have 4 or 5 guys working in there. But that finished door, and then even then you can't even order the door until once all the tiles all up and ready. Yeah, so you can get. It's got to be very precise.
Wow. Well, is there a limit on cabinets that I can add to my bathroom remodel?
Yes. There's only, obviously, if you have sometimes they want to put in, we want a double sink, but they only got maybe 4 foot. If you were to try to put 2 sinks in there, you're not going to have a countertop. So, and then other times they want some type of a laundry little things where they can put their towels or whatever. So we're like, this is not going to fit, because you have to have some access to move around in the bathroom also. And bathrooms aren't always that big. You have a toilet where you got to sit down. You got to have your legs so it's not smashing in. So a lot of times what they do is, if they're looking for extra space, you put the one cabinet that goes above the toilet. Sometimes for the towels, what I've done before is there's like stainless steel racks that you put inside of the bath towards the back, so that the shower doesn't hit it. So you can use some of that. There's also some corner cabinets. Corner cabinets, you can put your stuff in there, but you do have a limit on to what cabinets you can put and not put inside of there. And then even with cabinets, are they going to be custom made so that they fit right perfectly in? Sometimes there's you might have let's just say a number 72 inch or 74 inch opening, but most of those cabinets come in 72 inches. Yeah, you're gonna have a little gap on each side. Yeah, so you might have to have them built, and do a built-in. It's gonna bump your price up. Other times it doesn't matter. You got a big area and they're just looking for like a single sink or something like that, so you can just fit that in. So with bathrooms and kitchens and all, you've got to be precise. You've got to be like within an eighth of an inch, or else you're gonna have gaps or water leaking through and stuff like that. So really important to know what you're gonna do as far as cabinets and storage for that stuff, because sometimes not a lot of storage.
Yeah, is there a legal limit on how much space I gotta have to walk around in the bathroom?
Yeah. Usually you want to have. I don't know if it's legal, but you have 5 feet is usually the width of it, at least so you can fit a tub, and then your other one across would be 6 feet, and then you need some room so that you can walk in. One of the main things is your toilet needs 30 inches before you can have a cabinet or something up against it, so that you can sit in there. Yes.
Okay. Next one we have is if I wanted to add a home sauna, is that different in the bathroom remodel, or can I be added on to my bathroom remodel?
A sauna is is something that you have it's like heat, and it's an enclosed door. Usually it doesn't go with the bathroom. The bathroom has the shower, has either the bathtub, and usually the sauna is something that would be completely different. Yeah. And in about 30 years that I've been doing this, I've only done probably one sauna. Yeah, but it's usually in a different spot. It needs its own room, so it can create its own its heat or whatever it is. Yeah. Or you could just turn the exhaust fan on, turn the water up.
Just staying there with the hot water.
Yeah, just staying there with the hot water, and then
You
just
get the same effect.
Yeah,
I know they sell them at Costco now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get some at Costco.
but you know they're kind of a separate unit.
Yeah, it's a separate unit. You
yeah.
put it like in your living room if you want to.
Yeah. So yeah, typically it's not something that is connected in there. You're gonna need a pretty good size
Bathroom to have
pretty
a sauna.
Yeah, to have a sauna in there. Yeah.
Right on. Next one is are there mirror options to choose from, or is there only a standard size?
There's so many mirrors. You know, you have your medicine cabinet that comes with a mirror. There's medicine cabinets that you open and has a mirror behind the medicine cabinet.
Oh wow.
They have a custom mirrors where you know it's a full size. You just measure it inch to inch. You get the glass company again to get it all the way from to the top to the bottom. You have like oval mirrors. You have mirrors that tilt. You've got mirrors that have Wi-Fi in them, that have clocks, have temperature gauges in there. You have square mirrors, beveled mirrors, stainless steel mirrors. You've
So
got
many options.
there's like a ton of options.
I even seen mirrors that made you look skinny. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They have like these skinny mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, what's up with the ones that they do in when you have the changing rooms? I mean, those I don't know what those, but those two definitely not make you look skinny, bro.
I think they would sell more clothes if they did, you know?
What's that?
You go
No,
to skinny mirror, like, oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
You go back home, you're like, what happened?
dude, don't give these crazy retailers ideas, bro.
that's
They'll
not
be
a
like,
bad
oh,
idea.
they're gonna get a lot of clothes returned, right? Because they'll be like, oh, well, I can fit into a better size now than.
Kidding me, girls return clothes, period.
Oh yeah,
They don't take off price tags and so forth.
they don't take off price tags. They'll be like wearing them, taking them back.
exactly. It's like a new outfit. Is there a limit on how big the bathroom sink can be?
Well, once again, you want to have some counter space, but they have different types of sink sizes on there. Just you got to make sure that you have enough counter space so that you can put some stuff up. But you also have just the what they call the floating sink, where it's really kind of nothing below it. So you see a lot of those in like the commercial buildings and stuff like that. But you also have the just standalone sink, which no countertops, no side or anything, and it has a base that you put in there. So it's just all going to depend on what sizes you have. Just remember that you're going to need some countertop space. So a lot of times these look really beautiful, wow, but now where are you going to put the stuff where you're doing whatever you're doing?
Your shaving lotion, your razors, your beard trimmer. Your ladies, the little mustache, shavers, little bikini shavers.
Yeah, whatever it is, you're not gonna have a lot. You're not gonna have a lot of area. So it's so if you have the standalones that you're gonna have on there, then typically for sure, then you want to have a medicine cabinet because that way you have some stuff to store in there because you're not even gonna have storage underneath. Yes.
Okay. Next question: how do I know I'm getting a good deal on my kitchen remodel? Is there a standard price range?
There's no really, that's all custom. It's all kind of custom work. It's going to depend on, who's doing the work. What's different about what we do and contractors do is like, let's say when you go buy a car or a product or something, it's already a finished product. You're basically buying something that's unfinished, yes. So you're relying and hoping that the person that you hire is going to satisfy what you want. Yeah. And so a lot of times they're like, and I've seen this quite often where they're just looking for like, let's say the lowest price or the best deal on there. But you want to get somebody that's in there that has experience in doing these things. So a lot of times people will go, okay, I got estimates. Let me go to the bottom guy. And then the bottom guy doesn't have the experience to be able to put on the tile real nice. Doesn't have the guys maybe to be able to do this in a fast.
Do the electrical.
Yeah, exactly. So just like anybody, when you have more experience, most of the time you have more experience doing stuff. You've already ran through the problems. Yeah.
So you know exactly how to overcome.
Right. So even like Renzo, sometimes he's like, Dave, I gotta call you, man. I've been trying to figure this out now for a few days or hours or whatever. He tries to not like bother me with a lot of stuff sometimes. Then he'll call me up and literally within 5 minutes I'm like, have them do this or here and there. And it's not that, I'm just so bright about that I've ran into trouble with that before. Yes, and we figured it out. So, and especially when you're doing remodels, homes are not square. They're not. You're gonna run into
walls are not level.
Yeah, you're gonna run into that stuff almost on every single remodel job that you have, where you're gonna have to do a MacGyver, where you kind of
Gotta Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, well, Mickey Mouse, no, MacGyver. Yeah, Mickey
like
Mouse
MacGyver?
is cheap work, but like a MacGyver, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
With a piece of
gum. I think a lot of people, they tend to ask like Google and Siri, like, oh, how much is this cost? How much is that cost?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say on average, on the minimum, a little small bathroom is gonna be 10 grand. I mean, it can go up to 50 grand, but I would say.
It's a kitchen question.
For a kitchen?
Yeah.
So I would say about 15 for a small kitchen. It can go up to 50, but I'd say on average, probably about $30,000 is what it is right now. Remember, you're gonna need countertops, sinks, cabinets.
And not only that, but when you pick out the cabinets, you could go compressed wood, you go solid wood, you got pine, you got oak, you got redwood.
Yeah.
Then you got the brass finishes, the stainless steel finishes.
There's so many options.
Everything has price.
Prefab, you can get it custom made. There's quartz countertops. There's granite countertops. So I mean, it ranges.
Yeah, it's not an average.
Yeah, it's really tough. All I would say is get first know kind of what you want, and go on Google, get some images, and that way when your contractors come out to give you pricing, they'll actually have an idea of what you're
exactly what it is.
What you're looking for. But once again, experience matters. You're probably gonna pay a little bit more to have somebody that's a little bit more experienced. Yeah, it's like a mechanic, like anybody. The guys who have been doing it and have a little bit more experience. You don't have to keep bringing your car back. They don't screw your things up, two different times. And at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's an unfinished product. And especially on a kitchen, you have, so many things just can go wrong where. Your plumbing, you take this all out, and then you have some plumbing issues that don't connect, where maybe you have old galvanized or it's rotted or something like that. You want to be able to. One of the biggest things, and even online that I notice, is your contractor needs to be able to troubleshoot. You need to be able to resolve problems right there. Yes, because the customers, they don't know. And then sometimes even the guys out there don't know, so they need the boss to go over there and be like, okay, hey, do this, do here, and do there, and they're like, oh, okay, just another eye.
Yeah, that's a tough for a customer, because you see people doing something, but nothing gets fixed. I'm like, dude, we're trying to figure out the problem, and a lot of the times it happens with electrical.
Yeah.
You're trying to find where this line comes from,
troubleshooting.
And there's
and then you don't know what somebody else has done.
Yeah.
So someone may have tied in a bunch of wires onto one circuit, and so you're trying to figure that out. You're trying to troubleshoot, and you're going around the houses trying to do different type of stuff. So it's to me, it's important, especially with like a kitchen and like a bathroom, that you're not going to have access to that, to have somebody who knows what the heck they're doing. They're not going to be out, taking forever out there, that can just resolve a problem quickly. Yeah, or answer a question also for you pretty quickly.
Okay, next question is what are the different types of furniture that I can add to my bathroom remodel?
Well, you have stainless steel. That's always good. You want the stuff to be moisture resistant. Nothing that's really like raw or exposed. Things that have varnish on them, or at least a minimum of semi-gloss finishes. You want to use porcelain tile opposed to like ceramic tile, because that holds up to water. Just whatever you're going to be using in there has to be moisture resistant. So I've even seen some people bring in some just cabinets that they'll buy at their local store, particle board or something, maybe meant for the outside. They kind of set it, and then after a while, as the moisture sets in on there, the cabinet door's not closing correctly. It might start to swell up because of the moisture that's in there. Or they get a type of cabinet where they're sitting it on the floor. Water gets off and gets on your tile on the floor, and it sits right up against there, and it starts to damage the bottom of it, or it starts to damage the finish on the outside. Or you're washing down, and then the finish is on the outside. So all that stuff has to have the capacity to be able to repel water and moisture. Not even just water. When you're taking
mist.
yes. just any of that stuff when you got in there, just the humidity.
So just buy everything out of bamboo, right?
Well, yeah, bamboo's good. I don't know how many things are all done. Bamboo, wicker, and all that stuff. But most of the stuff is gonna come. If it's for a bathroom, it's gonna come with a type of finish on there. And then one of the things that you see is like the wet towels or the wet things where they just throw a wet towel and you leave it on top of something that has maybe a wood finish on there. Well, that wet towel is gonna soak into there. So you got to make sure that you got hanging the towels up, not just letting them set on top of something all wet, because once that's sitting, that's like the worst thing, leaving wet things on top of even just not quartz, but if you had a granite countertop and you left something wet on there or some type of a drink or whatever, it can leave a ring on there because those are porous. So so anything to do wet, water, moisture, if it has any of that, flooring. So some of you get the flooring, the vinyl flooring. You want to make sure that it's water proof, not just water resistant.
Waterproof, okay. And then I see sometimes people, these ladies, they have like vanities inside the bathrooms, and they have like that cushion bench, right? That's not a good thing to put in the bathroom. It's not waterproof.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how how it is, but yeah, I mean, also, do you have your kids that are all wet and they're gonna be sitting on that cushion? Get the cushion bench or whatever or something like that. Yeah, so anything with some type of a cushion like that, like if it's got some type of a leather or pleather or something like that, But when you have that upholstery, you gotta definitely watch out. Upholstery, wallpaper, you gotta be careful. Even if you put it up, the moisture gets behind there and it starts to the seams start to come up because of the glue. So just any for bathrooms, you try to keep it simple.
Don't add too much furniture. Just the vanity, the toilet, medicine cabinet,
mirror,
no bench,
and then even with tile, like the bigger tile's better, less grout. You're just kind of you're not dealing with having to go in there and deal with like the grout changing colors or cleaning that grout. So if you can get full bigger pieces and then do your tile like that to me has always been better.
Some people kind of like put them together where there's not too much of a grout.
Yeah, exactly. And then also you move them all the way up to the top of the ceilings where the shower area is. That way you don't have any of the boards showing up on top, and you don't have any painting or any peeling or any of that type of stuff. And then even your painting, you have to make sure that it's at least. I always use a semi-gloss, rarely use a gloss, but at least, never ever put a flat finish. If anything, at least have some type of an eggshell or something like some type of a sheen to it.
I got 4 kids, so in my house it's all high gloss. It's white on the walls.
Yeah, you walk in your house, you're like, get a suntan.
Yeah, it's all high gloss because the kids touch everything,
Yeah.
The doorways, and you just wipe it down with the little Clorox wipe.
Well, the bad thing about a high gloss is if there's any little imperfections, you can see every little thing. Yeah, so that's what, So high gloss is good for cleaning, definitely.
It definitely costs more.
What?
It definitely costs more.
It does cost more. But if you say you have kids and you don't feel like having maintenance, the high gloss is the thing to do.
Especially around like the on-off switch in the electrical, it's all dirty. When they turn the corner and they're hitting the door frame, it's all dirty.
Yeah, I mean it does protect, bro.
Yeah, you just wipe it off, because if not.
And you know what? A lot of companies, as far as the painting goes now, they have so many different types of gloss finishes now. Before it was just like flat, semi-gloss, and gloss. Now they have like ultra gloss, and then they have low sheen. They got eggshell. Yeah. So.
What's the best way to find a contractor who specializes in bathroom remodeling?
Well, any type of contractor, you want to interview them, right? You want to make sure and see their their pictures or whatever. Maybe talk to a couple of clients and see what they've done. Google somebody online, but most of the time it's just you being able to sit with the contractor, getting somebody that you could actually get along with, because this is not a project where it's like, let's say even painting on the outside, you pick your colors and they're on the outside of the house. No, this is like they're gonna be walking in your house, they're gonna have to lay paper down, they gotta put plastic up all over the place. So you wanna make sure that the questions, the interview questions are very important, and then making sure you get along with somebody, especially when it comes to interior stuff, because these type of people are going to be coming into your house every single day. Someone that you feel trust with. You don't want things missing in your house.
What are some of the good questions you can ask a contractor when hiring them?
Well, how long they've been in business, That's a good one. Can I call? If they say, oh, can I call one of your clients? Oh no, you can't call. That's a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah, right there, because you're like, why can't I call? Can I go look at one of your jobs? Oh no, or whatever. So now some people don't want other people to go in their houses. I get that. Good question is, money is really key. So you don't want to let them be ahead of you, because they'll be like, okay, give me a little down payment right now, $400. Job's 20 grand, and when we start, give me 15 grand. I need to buy material, right? That's already a bad sign that they need all that money. What I would typically do is say, hey, let me get the material at least here, and then you can give me some type of a draw. Most of the time, you do like, let's say, depending on how big it is, you do, let's say, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That's pretty good. Or 25%, 25%, 25%, something like that.
At different levels of the project.
Yeah, as you're going along. So if it's $20,000, let's say, hey, when we come start and we start to demo, you're gonna give me $5 grand, and then you're gonna have your next one will say, okay, when we deliver the material and when we have all the drywall up and the plumbing up, then you give me another $5 grand. So as you're going, having stage payments, so they're not ahead of you, you're not ahead of them, and everybody. And then at the end, you want to hold some some money, making sure they come back, do all their touch-ups. But if they're contractor, it's just human nature. If you have all the money, you're not gonna push hard to get the job done.
Okay.
Right. So if the customer has all the money now the contract's like, man, I gotta go get my money and finish this job up, or else they're not gonna pay.
Get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
The workers not getting paid.
Yes.
Materials are not getting paid.
Yes, so. You always and there's always like the sales guy that comes to the sales guy puts on the big show, and then you never see him again. Can't even get him on his cell phone again. Oh wow! Right, so that happens. That I've heard that one a lot. Oh yeah, the guy who came in, he was great and this and that, and then just sent his guys, or they picked up guys over there at Home Depot and just dropped them off. And so I hear that a lot. So they'll ask me, stuff like, hey, do you subcontract your guys? And some of the stuff you have to subcontract. Most of the guys are in-house guys that do work for us, but because they've had that experience where they've had just like random people just kind of show up at their house, or they have different crews showing up. Sometimes the customers themselves, they're getting bids, and they're like, hey, well, this guy gave me a bid for $40,000. Can you beat it? And so then the guy doesn't want to lose work, so he's like, okay, I'll beat it. And then he's like, well, you know what? I'm not going to put the A team on this one. I'm going to put the B team on here. Or you know what? For this one, I need to still make money. Let me go around and let me have different guys go in here and bid this. So maybe you're even going to have guys going out there bidding projects that you've never even seen their work or any of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the contractor or anybody that's working there, they want to make money. A lot of times, customer doesn't see that. They just see, the bottom line. Mm-hmm. And then some guys pay their guys $15 an hour to put tile, and then other guys are $35 an hour to put tile, or $50 an hour to put tile. Now, I'm not saying that one automatically will make it better than the other, but most likely the guy that you're paying that amount of money,
he has more experience.
He has more experience, and if you're not giving it to him, believe me, he'll be on another crew. And so guys who are good, they have work. Yeah.
You got to pay for the craftsman.
Most of the time, the guys that are good, they have work. So, and I've seen clients going, oh yeah, I kind of wait for people that like, oh, I don't have work, I don't have this. That one would be a little bit reluctant for those type of guys. Yeah, because they if they don't have work, it's usually because they don't have referrals or they don't have guys. Now every now and then you might get a cancellation or something like that. But I hired my cousin's friend because he didn't have any work right now, so I got a real good deal. I mean, usually those real good deals don't end up being real good deals.
There's a reason why he doesn't have any work.
Yes. Most of the time. And even if, let's say, you're a main contractor and those guys are subs, if they're good, they got a lot of different subs that are looking for them. Like, there's plenty of guys where you call them like, hey man, I'm busy till 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. I can't get anything done. So you got to be careful with that. Projects are so expensive that it makes you go, well, you know what? Man, this guy's 20, this guy's 15. That's a $5,000 difference. Even if he's not as good, it's still $5 grand. But as good, and the difference is a huge. difference, and then you end up just being totally unsatisfied. And then you didn't even get a $15,000 job's worth. You got like a, you know, I've gone to places where literally it looked like a 6-year-old was doing it, that they're just practicing on somebody's home.
Wow.
Yeah, so you want to kind of stay away from all that stuff.
So at the end of the day, guys, you guys get what you pay for.
Yep.
You guys want quality work, you guys gotta pay quality work.
You gotta pay for quality work.
You go buy your Q-tips at 99-cent store and you get them at Costco.
Well, even then, it's a finished product. This is unfinished. You're just like hoping that somebody's gonna do a good job. And if anybody walks around and says that, oh, every one of my jobs has ever been perfect, that's a lie. You know, there's some times where it's not perfect. Either you got to refix it or you figure it out with the client. You got to just make sure that your client is always, at the end of the day, is satisfied with whatever you guys finished off with.
Okay, well, that's all for today, guys.
All right.
So thanks for joining in. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us, drop a comment. Any more questions, we'll be here to answer them.
Yep, if you guys need some estimates, just go ahead and ring the office or put some comments on there. We'll come out there, and estimates are free anyway, so a lot of times I can just even give you some good ideas on what to do on your houses. So thank you, and we will see each other next week. Si Dios quiere.